joined by Chris Buescher, driver of the number 34 Loves Travel Stops Ford. Chris knows the area well as a native of Prosper, Texas. Finished 30th in his NASCAR Sprint Cup Series debut here last July. Chris, welcome home. Talk about your home event.
Yeah, it's appreciate it. Always nice being back home. I got a lot of family and friends coming out, so no extra pressure, but get to see a lot more people, which is definitely nice. Second time coming back here on the Cup side, and I feel like we've made some pretty big improvements from where we started this race last year, and we have some pretty good notes to go off of from Fontana this year, hoping that a lot of that will translate into this race, being that the surface is worn out. It is bumpy. Feel like that's some places where we can improve. Just trying to figure out how to make it all carry over into this racetrack. I like coming here. I like how it moves around a lot, and it's gonna be a busy week. It's a home track for Loves as well, and just a lot going on. So ready to get started here.
With that, we'll open it up to questions. We'll start with Holly down here up front and then work it around.
Hi, Chris. Holly Kane, NASCAR.com. Could you elaborate a little bit more on what it's like to race here at your home track? And did you come out here early? Do you have certain friends that get really cool, good tickets? Is it family? Is it friends? Just talk a little bit about the setting here.
I did not get to come out early, and if I'd have been smart, I'd have planned on staying a little later, being that it is a Saturday night race, but lost track of that one. So unfortunately, we're just here for this short period of time. It's nice because I've raced on all of the circuits here, the 5th mile out back, the quarter mile. We've done some road course racing in the infield, and I think I ran one race on the dirt track out there in a Legends car. So I've been to this facility more times than I can count. I've watched more races from my parents' season ticket spots up in the grandstands than I can count. So it's pretty neat, and I always know where they're at, and I can actually see them from driver intro stage, which is pretty neat. They're right there on the start-finish line. They've been here since I think this place opened. It's been a long time, so it's pretty neat to be on the other side of the fence now and actually be able to run it. Like I said, I watched a ton of races from up in the grandstands, and I'm not a very good race fan because I want to be participating so badly that it drives me nuts watching, but it's nice to be a part of it now.
Let's come right up front here.
Dan McFadden, NBC Sports. Last year you were pretty open in saying that you would have been completely fine staying at the Xfinity level for another reason, for another season. 5 races into this year, is there still a part of you that wishes you were out there right now taking more laps in that series?
Yeah, I want to be running more over there, but more as a double duty standpoint now. I feel really good about where we're heading this year on the Cup side, and it's been a little bit of a rocky start just looking at our finishes, but we've had speed at some of these racetracks, and not all of them, but we've had speed at a couple to get started here, and we just haven't had things really go our way. So I have made it pretty clear that I would still love to run a handful of Xfinity races whenever the chance arises, and it's hopefully going to come around to the point where I can start doing a little bit more over there, because I feel like the added seat time is so important right now, especially just trying to learn these Cup cars. So yeah, I mean, I definitely want to be running as much as possible, and an extra race on a weekend where we're already at the racetrack. It's hard to say no, you don't want to do it.
Let's come right over here.
Dominic Ottago on the RacingExperts.com. To build on that, if you could run more in the Xfinity Series this year, how much would that translate to more success in the Cup Series?
I think we see it pretty often. A lot of guys will run that double duty. Kyle's obviously the one that everybody goes to, but Harvick and Junior, and I know Chase is doing it this year. I think Blaney's going to do a couple. A lot of guys go back and forth and get the extra seat time, and they've been racing at the Cup level for many, many years. They wouldn't keep doing it if there wasn't a benefit. So from my standpoint, and being my first year in Cup, I definitely want to be over there running as many races as possible. Things have not worked out perfectly to be able to do it yet, but I'm pretty confident that as we go through the season and should be able to run a handful of races on the Xfinity side over on the Roush side.
We'll come right back down here to Holly.
Holly Kane again. My question to you is, coming off a championship year and then coming into the new series and really having a lot of learning that goes into it, how do you kind of juxtapose the two? What is it like for you now, really, in that learning and the challenge of doing that versus having just come off the huge high of winning the championship and your approach with that?
It's tough, but it's something that I fully expected. I didn't plan to come over here and be running top 5 week 2, after Daytona, but it's going to be a learning experience, and I've told the whole team that. I said, be patient, because I have a lot of learning to do. It's a very new situation, not only for myself, but it's a new crew chief to me with Bob. It's a new team. Most of the guys on the 34 are different from what they were last year. And there's the new relationship with Rousch Fenway and Front Row Motorsports. So there's so many moving parts that we're having to try and adjust to right now that it's going to take a little bit to get everything flowing smoothly and start running more competitively. Until then, yes, it is a hard transition to come off of a championship year and be getting the finishes that we have so far, but it's not due to lack of effort, and it's not going to stay where it's at very long. We're going to get better to the point where we start feeling a lot better about our finishes, and hopefully where we can start coming back up in points here this year.
We'll stay right here, and then we'll finish up in the back.
RJ Kraft, NASCAR.com. Last week during the Martinsville practice, you had Biffle's thing across your windshield. Did you know it was a tech issue? Did you think the team was playing an April Fool's joke on you? Kind of what was your reaction to all that?
I told everybody it was an April Fool's joke. I got asked that more than how that car was handling last week. So that's my Twitter stuff blew up. There's all kinds of little memes out there. It was a bit of a mess all over a little bitty sticker. So. I think they figured out what happened, and it was actually just an oversight, not even on our part, but just from where we got the windshield. So now it's something funny to laugh at. It has some people spun out, I will say that. Never expected such a big commotion, and I think we were asked to actually change the name during practice, which the decals are underneath the windshield now, or they'll sandblast or peel off. So. That was a little bit of a far-off request to be happening in the middle of practice. We had more important things to be working on.
Hi, Elliot Stern, Santa Maria Times. You mentioned that this track was a lot like Fontana a couple of weeks ago. That track just chewed up your tires. So will that experience help you this weekend? And is tire management going to be as key to winning the race as any other component?
I would definitely say so. Maybe it's not to the same extent as Fontana, but there is definitely a lot of tire wear here. The surface has aged really well, in my opinion. I mean, it's a lot of fun to go to these places where you're just out of control as you get deep into a run. It's here, Fontana, Atlanta, Kentucky, places like this. They put on some of the best races, in my opinion, and I love coming to them. So. Tire management was a huge part of racing in the ARCA series, being that the tires did fall off very aggressively there. When I came over to the Xfinity side early, at the time the tire was very bulletproof. It was hard to really abuse them, and I think we've kind of trended back towards that per a lot of drivers' requests and a lot of fan requests. So. I think they're doing a good job. Goodyear is with the tires to make them more raceable and make it fall off later in the run to make better racing. Hopefully, as the race goes in. So I love it. I think it's going to be a very big part of strategy, and I think you're going to see 4 tires almost every time we come down pit road.
And we'll take one final question from Chris.
Chris Knight, CatchFans.com. A few minutes ago, Greg Gaulding was announced as a teammate at Roush Fenway Racing. Just looking for comment from you about that.
I'd say I don't know a whole lot about it, being that being on the front row side of this year. So, I think that think the April Fool's joke announcing a new driver development guy might have been a little bit more true than I even realized. So, I think it'll be a good deal. The way it's been explained to me, I haven't had much briefing, but it's just another driver development program, very similar to the way that I came into the Rousch organization. I came into it at a lot lower level and a lot earlier, I guess. But I think it's going to be good. I think it's just another chance to hopefully have another car for them to get information off of and to build that program up.
Okay, Chris, thank you for coming in, and good luck Saturday night.
Appreciate it.